Today, we're jumping into how I light and composite inside Blender Octane step by step using the exact workflow I use every single day. Most beginners think lighting is just throw up a few area lights and hope it looks good. But once you understand how Octane actually responds to real-world scale, fall off, camera imaging, lighting becomes stupid simple. So here's the plan. I'm going to light a simple sphere setup from scratch, show you the exact camera and imager settings I use, and then we'll jump right into Octane's compositor to finish it off, all inside of Blender. My name is Patrick LeVar. I've been learning Blender Octane for the past 5 years and teaching everything I know and giving it out for free. I've also built one of the top Blender Octane communities online where serious artists get access to exclusive materials, feedback, direct support, and enough of the jibber jabber. Let's just get straight into the video. If I jump into my shading tab here, we'll go ahead and jump into the camera. Let's come in here, fire this up. I'm going to go into my library here. I'm going to go into we're going to go into my stuff. I've got this nice little effects graphic here. I'm going to drop this on here and let's see what that looks like. Ooh, interesting. Because of the curvature on this one, I'm actually really not liking what it's doing here. Let's see as far as zoom this back up or something. Play with positioning here a little bit and maybe even let's play with the rotation on. Okay, I kind of like that. We got some leading lines that are kind of leading into that here. Let's kind of pull that off. Yeah, I'm kind of liking where that's at. That feels a little bit better. Maybe making it a little bit smaller. Hold down shift just to make it a little bit smaller to give it more mass. Make it like I feel like it's pretty huge. Make some more small adjustments. All right, I think I like that. Now what I'm also going to do is start to do some fine tuning here. Just kind of dial this in. And like once I've got my general lighting set up, what I typically like to do, which is nice at Octane, we have this thing called camera imager, where basically now we're looking through the camera. This is where we start to add our camera effects. So I get my lighting general, and then I'll come in here and just do what I would do in the real world, like I'll expose up or expose down. So if I go ahead and press in, you'll see here, make sure the camera is not active. Let me slide this over here. And if I jump into Octane, you see here's my camera imager presets. I'm going to expose up a little bit. I'll kind of expose this up a little bit more hotter, something like that. Then I'm also going to make sure we're not blowing anything out. I got hot pixel remover, kind of crank that up just a tad bit and add some highlight compression. Make sure that my highlights are not clipping. I can use this here to kind of dial back that highlight if they're clipping a little bit. Also here, let's see, I think everything else looks okay here. I'm liking what this will look like. Let's go take a look at this in post and just do some real quick compositing on it here. Let me dial in first of all here. If I want to have any post processing, let me quickly turn that on. I'll come down here and grab my bloom, maybe go like something pretty heavy first, like 30. Oh yeah, there we go. And then I'll grab the cutoff and just kind of dial that cutoff back. And I'm kind of watching this area here, maybe even giving it a little bit more, maybe 1 point, something like that. And then as far as glare, let's see what that looks like. Let's go 50 on the glare. Ooh, that actually looks really cool. I normally go 1 and then I go 1 and I go 90 just to get that kind of anamorphic feel. I really like that. That's looking cool. We can control the blur on that if we want a little bit. I'm kind of liking this. This looks actually really cool. But then I always get it to where I like it and then I divide it by half. Something I learned from the Newt guys when it comes to compositing. And it's the same with the bloom. Let's kind of dial that back a little bit. Let's go divide that by half. Right, and then maybe even just kind of bringing this back a little bit here. The glare, maybe I just want to give me a little bit more. Let's go back to 4. There we go, just to get a little bit of those streaks popping off right there. Then I'll come in here and add in a little bit of some chromatic aberration. I go hard and then pull it off, and then I'm just going to go really lightly here just on the outer edges. Again, these effects, they're not the subject of the video, the spheres here. This is just to complement that, right? I'm going to go ahead and hit save on that. Then I'm going to jump over to the compositor and just do a little bit of compositing here inside of it so I don't have to do it in Photoshop. Go ahead and click on that. That's going to kill that. And then what I need to do is once we have it inside of here, I need to make sure I'm viewing the compositor. I come over here to the side and I'm going to make sure my compositor is selected. And I already do have it selected. For those of you who don't, you just click in here and make sure you have that selected after I've made this. Again, my free Blender file already has all this stuff set up so I don't have to constantly keep doing that. Now, once I've got that where I want that, I'm going to come over here and I want to view my AOV output, which is going to activate our compositor in the viewport and give that a moment to kick in. All right, here that is. Now you can see we're looking at the denoise pass, and the denoise pass is full on 100%, and it's just killing all of our detail, right? So the first thing I want to do here, I'm going to rebuild that. I'm actually going to take this here's our AOV output. This is our render beauty, and here's our denoiser, right? I'm going to disconnect that for now, and then we'll see that goes back to normal. I'm going to add in a layer group, and I'm going to group this denoiser and connect it properly. So I'm going to add a couple of inputs here. The first thing what I'm going to do is I want to take a copy of our beauty, put that into this layer group, because this is going to be our copy of the denoise version, and we're going to blend the denoise version with the original version so I can have a little bit more control. So I'm going to take my denoiser, I'm going to plug that in here, and then boom, the denoiser is going to be full on, but nothing's happening because we don't see it. I'm going to plug this into the output, so now it's on top of that. Okay, and it's actually at high. I'm going to set this to balance, but then I'm going to connect the proper outputs that we need, the AOV, denoise, albedo. So I'm going to shift duplicate this here, bring this up. I'm going to jump in here, and I'm going to go to denoise albedo, plug that into albedo, shift duplicate this down, and then I'm going to go plug this into the normal and go to denoise normal. Okay, so I've got this connected up properly. I checked this on here also by default. There we go. So again, now we're still seeing, since it's layered on top, we're still seeing full on denoise, and it's killing all of our detail. So what I like to do is come over here, click on this, go to Octane Compositor, go to opacity, adjust opacity. This opacity node is going to do what it says. It's going to allow us to adjust the opacity of the denoise version. If I go to 0, now we don't see nothing. We should be like, there's our full dirty image. And then if I go this, here's our full noise image, killing all of our detail, especially inside the sphere here. So I'm going to back that off to maybe like 60%, just a little bit there, something like that. I'm really not liking this, what's going on with this light up here. So I might actually throttle that light back just a tad bit. I'm going to take this whole section here. There we go, got that all framed up. So this is going to be our denoiser. Our denoiser is set. And then from here, I'm just going to do a little bit more work. Let's go back and quickly adjust that light. I don't like it. Okay, I like where that's at. And then what I'm going to do here, that's going to be denoising here. We're going to set up another thing here. I'm going to turn back on my post-processing. So if I come in here, and we're just going to grab another render AOV node, I'm going to drag that up here. And we don't see our post-processing at the moment because we need to tell it. We want that. Come in here, zoom back a little bit more, and I'm going to come over to post-processing, turn that on there. And now we'll see, we should start to see our post-processing. Here in my AOV passes, I need to make sure it's connected, plug that into there, and also make sure it is turned on. Okay, there it is. Now we can see our post-processing. We need to do some math. So we come in here, blending modes, add in a blend mode. I'm going to turn that to add. I want to add that on top. Boom, there it is. So that's our post-processing. Again, if I go ahead and group that, boom, there's our post-processing. And I want to add some contrast into this. So I'm going to come up here again, add in another input, come in here to maybe color. And let's see, what do we got? Add contrast. I'm going to go ahead and slide that up above here and just hold down shift, add a little bit of contrast in here like that. I do notice that it is darkening my image up a little bit. So I do want to boost that back up a little bit. So again, we'll just come in here, repeat that, add in another input, come in here, compile. I want to do boost highlights, not necessarily adjust brightness, right? And this one is very sensitive, so be careful, hold down shift, and there you go. There we go. We just want that to pop out a little bit more. Okay, so I think I'm kind of happy with what we got set up here. Add that on top there. Boom. So we basically added in everything. So if I was to come in here, turn off the composite, the denoising, that's what it looks without denoising. This was our adjustment we made there, and turn this off, and then turn this off. And this is kind of, that was the original. Again, all I did was brighten it up, add a little contrast into it, kind of get this area to pop a little bit, turned on the post-processing, you know. And again, if we wanted to control more of that post-processing, I could go a little bit hotter back in our settings, and then bring the opacity node and dial that back. Like, I do want that glare to, those glare to pop a little bit. So I'm gonna jump back over to, there's our compositing side. It's coming in a little bit heavy. So now what I can do is, let me go full screen for a moment here. I'm gonna move these guys up, and then all I'm gonna do here is add in another one of those layer nodes. Actually, I can just copy this one right here, this layer group, shift duplicate, drop that into here, and we've got that. And what I wanna do on top of this is I wanna add in, let's go down to 1. Number 2, I'm gonna add in an opacity right there, opacity, drop that in. Let's put that into the, oops, actually I added in a mask crypto. We don't want that. I want opacity, adjust opacity, right? I'm going to drop that in there just like that. Jump back out. Okay, and now this math that we're doing here, we're going to take that and we're going to connect that into the blend mode of this and of the layer group now. Instead of, we don't need to do it on the actual individual node. I'm actually going to grab this Alt P, pull that out, and I like to put that above here so it lets me know that I'm doing some math onto this node group here. So I'm adding this whole group, whatever's in this group I'm adding here. So now we should have control with the slider of how much we want. So I can really kind of just dial that in a little bit there. I really like that. That's kind of cool. And I think that might be it. I can just be pixel peeping on this for hours. But that's just a real quick, easy little setup here that we did inside of the compositor here, just to kind of basically what I would do inside of Photoshop anyways. All right, now let's go ahead and render this and see what it's going to look like. Again, I might throw a little bit more samples at it. I'm already at 800. We'll see what that looks like when we look at this. Now, what is nice is when I go to render this, it's still going to give me my general render, because if I go into the compositor for right here, this is the standard Blender compositor, right? You can see I've got all those passes that I enabled. They're all right here. And then if you look down here, here's my AOV output. This is basically a special look, which we built. We will have that separate plus all of our other passes. So let's go ahead and render this out. All right, so we are finished. That took about 1 minute and 17 seconds here. I'm on a 4080 Supra. Now, what we do is we're only seeing just the beauty pass. We're not seeing what we built. So we have to come over here to Composite, go to View Layers. Then you will see we got all of our extra layers here, emitters. Like, so if you really want to go and take this into After Effects or Nuke and do it, you got all that stuff set up, right? So I'm going to go to AOV Output. This is the one that we built with the compositor. I kind of like where that's at, so I'm going to stop pixel peeping on this. And one other thing I forgot to do was set the focal length, the focal spot on our camera. So I'm going to click on my camera, make sure we're on that here, camera, go to Real Lens Camera, and I'm going to jump into a different viewport here so I can see where that camera is pointing. Let's turn on our overlays. And yeah, I didn't have the focal point set, so that could have been an issue here. I should have got that done. Click on my camera. I'm going to turn it from autofocus, turn off autofocus. I'm going to click on the sphere, and now we should see it there. And then I'm going to declick on that, and then I'm going to go ahead and just bring that back. I want the eye of the sphere to be really in focus. We got 4.0 on our depth of field. Let's jump in here. We might be able to get that background a little bit blurry to really using the depth of field to guide the eye where we want it to be. And I want it to be mainly on the sphere, not so much on the background. So we probably could go, let's go 2.8. I like to use real world values. I probably wouldn't go, I mean, a lens on a 50 mil with the 2.8 is pretty much realistic. I'm going to go for 2 on the aperture edge. And then I'm also going to come in here and go 2 on the aspect. So we're going to basically stretch it for like an anamorphic lens. So I kind of like where that's at. Maybe give me a 3. Okay, and let's go ahead and render that out. And here's our full render, which is really nice. I think I'm going to let this slide. I still feel up here on the top, we've got like, it looks that light, that hair light is just not doing what I want. It might be too much, but it does look like we got, it feels like we do have some hot pixels. Let me run a hot pixel remover on there and see if that can clean that up. Otherwise, I might just end up turning that light down or off. Yeah, that feels a little bit better. Maybe it was just too close and it was very hot on it, so I'll just pull that off a little bit there. So I think that is truly going to be the final tweak there. Let's go ahead and save that. Control Alt B to release the render region. Otherwise, it will render that. Control Save, and that's it. All right, that's the full lighting and composition workflow I use inside of Blender Octane. Nothing fancy, nothing over-engineered, just real-world lighting rules applied inside of Octane. And if you want to see these exact techniques in an actual project, the next video breaks down one of our members' scenes from our Sphere Challenge. Alex absolutely crushed it. We'll walk through his entire shader setup, how he built the details, and why the materials react so well to proper lighting. If you're serious about learning Octane, check this video out next. I'll meet you in there.